Hello, world.
Alô, alô, Bira. Alô, alô, Groove Art. Alô,
No,
alô,
no, 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 no,
everybody.
not allo, allo. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Today is in English.
We're going to
The
practice our
first
English
one in
today.
English. Yeah,
Exactly. I'm going to get a
yeah.
little better with my English chops today.
Okay, now.
Welcome, everybody, to Groove Our Live today with Keita Ogawa. And me and the famous Bernardo Aguiar here talking shop, talking about some Bandero. So we're going to hang here for a little bit and let some people join the room. But this is going to be a fun one today.
It's a
And
historic one because it's the first one in English.
this is the first one in English. We're testing some new boundaries. And now I
Be-
hear that you just started taking some English lessons yesterday.
yeah, because my
What
English
phrase
is
have you learned?
my the book is on the table. The pandeiro is on the table. The pandeiro is on the table.
Banderas on the table.
Yeah,
That's an important one.
yeah.
Beautiful. So today we're going to get into it with Keita Ogawa, who's you guys probably know from Snarky Puppy and Bokanté and Banda Magda, amazing percussionist, and an incredible banderista as well too. And last Tuesday we got together with Gabriel, and it was nice to talk with him about Hipiki and how that fits in the world. And like it was nice to see Pandero Hipiki duo for the first time in a while. That was a good performance. I really enjoyed that. And but today we're gonna get to talk more Pandero with our friend here. So this is gonna be a good one. And we're also gonna talk a little bit about the method that's out there for you guys to check out Pandero Moderno. What we're trying to do here with this show is like build some awareness about this instrument and its place in the world of music and all that sort of stuff, and like the modern conception of the pandero as well too, because it's such a big world, pandero, right? Within pandero, you have the style of pagode, you have the style of samba, you have the style of choro, of coco, frevo, all these different Brazilian styles. But then you also have the pandero as a modern universal instrument that can kind of be used in a bunch of different arenas. And I think Keita is a great example of this. He's somebody who's taking some of these Brazilian influences and putting them into other styles of music and putting them into other groups that
Yeah.
aren't traditional Brazilian instrument
One
percussion
thing
groups.
I always say, Brian, it's that pandeiro started as a regional instrument. Actually, pandeiro it came from the frame drum family of instruments, noblish family of instruments,
The
and
noble
then
pandero.
and then we have here in Brazil a lot of different pandeiros
Yeah,
that
that's
play
true.
different kinds of music, but the last decades, uh, Marco Susano, our master, developed a technique that we can call modern technique because allowed us to play whatever kind of music. And I think it, in our perspective, pandero is going the same way as the drum set went from like New Orleans, or like it started from a regional
Yeah,
perspective,
from
but
jazz,
now
from Dixieland Brass Band. Like, it was always linked with that at the beginning, and we're kind of in the same space right now, where all of a sudden the pandero for years and years and years has been linked with samba and choro, da da da. But now you see more people taking it outside of its boundaries. And we always talk about Susano like the prophet, because he kind of is in a sense, like he was the first guy to really take it and break away from a lot of the tradition. And now you see it happening, with your work, with PRD Maish and all that sort of stuff. But then tons of other panderistas doing the same thing. Keita's one of them. Tulio, Nacho, Sergio. There's a bunch of people around the world that are just kind of like taking it in a bunch of different directions now, which is really cool to see.
I used to say that, for example, in drum set world, like you can be a very good drummer without play jazz. That is the origin of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think pandero is going to the same way. Like
Yeah.
you can be a very good pandero player and don't play exactly Brazilian music. Of course, Brazilian music and the regional words, small words and big words, are always a creative inspiration
Mm-hmm.
to the music. But now pandero is free to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I think.
I think it is very similar to drum set, like you say. And it's kind of like samba and choro and that language that's like so affiliated with the technique and where this drum comes from. is like an entry point into learning this world as well too. You know, like when you go to university here in the States and you're a drummer and you're taking jazz drum set, they make you play jazz. Like you start off there for the most part, and you go through your John Riley books and you go through your bop drumming, because it teaches you the rice and beans, like the vocabulary that you need to have in order to be able to do other kinds of stuff. So like you can go anywhere. That's damn right, Adrian. You can go anywhere with this stuff. Adrian Gonzalez from Miami. Hey, what's up, Miami? We got Miami present here.
Brian, it's not in the script, but maybe you can play for us. Remember, in this meeting of Pandero players here in Rio, you played, you sang and played Pandero.
Oh yeah. North Mississippi.
It'd be nice to listen
Let's
that.
see. My babe can't stand no tears, my babe. Oh no, she can't stand no tears, my babe. My babe can't stand no tears. Don't stand none of that midnight creeping, my babe. Sweet little thing, my babe. Sweet little thing, my babe. Sweet little thing, my babe. That's not very Brazilian at all.
So it showed how Pandero can be multiple.
It could be a lot of different things, man. Lay my burden down. Alejandro Elizondo, I need you here singing this. Please don't make me suffer. Don't make these people suffer listening to me. Get over here. Come on. I know you're not far.
So it's very nice that Keita is a very good example of that. Like he's Japanese and he's playing Pandero very well, and he plays Brazilian music as well.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
for sure.
Very
We're going to
good.
get into it because, like, I know he went down to Brazil and he was there for a while studying with Sozinho and, like, the roots of Brazilian music, you know, but has taken it to a lot of other places. Alejandro. So, yeah.
So- I will
Shall we-
prepare here a solo of him to introduce him. Let's see
Ah,
if,
very nice.
I
I think
get
that's
to
a
hear.
great thing to do. While the Miami people organize a party over there.
so
All right, yeah, let's check it out. Keita Ogawa with Snarky Puppy. This one's awesome. I saw this one the other day. Monster. Woo!
Nice.
Fire. Incredible, man. Incredible. What a sound and what just like flow over such a deep groove. I'm very jealous of getting to play over that backbeat 204 like that. That's just solid as rock, man. That must feel great.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring
Alex
him on.
Shaw, my friend.
Oh yeah, Alex Shaw. Look at this. We got all the
Nice.
party people in here. Who says you can't get together anymore? All right, speaking of get together, let's get it together. Keita Ogawa, come in the room, baby.
Hey. Hello.
How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. Thank you for inviting me.
Dude, thank you so much for doing this, man. This is a great opportunity to be able to talk with good friends and see everybody in the room. Makes me feel like we're like all back at ground up or something again. This is pretty awesome.
Yes, this is awesome, man. Wow.
So, dude, let's kind of dive right into it, man. You got a really interesting story, and I feel a lot of kinship with you as somebody who's like coming from outside of Brazil and digging into the pandeiro and digging into that music and really, you know, finding inspiration in it. So, what makes the pandeiro such a unique instrument to you?
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a question. Cool.
Boom, go.
I mean, you know, like, I think it's like it's like everybody else too. Like, I mean, this is such a small instrument and can make so much the range of the sounds, like from the bottom to the top, you know. And, after the Marco Susano developed the technique and the sounds, you know, you can make basically drum sounds in with just one tambourine, you know, the pandeiro. That's really unique.
Was that
instrument.
like the first introduction you had to it was through Susano?
Oh, no, it's actually no. I think it was not. It was not actually. The one point after the music school in Japan, I found my mentor, Japanese percussion player. She was more like she was playing pandeiros and lots of Brazilian music in Tokyo, in Japan. So that was my introduction.
In like shorter groups, samba groups, that kind of stuff throughout Japan?
Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
bunch of different Brazilian music, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. For me, the first thing I heard was Susano. So like my mind was blown open because I'm looking at what I think is a tambourine and I'm
Yeah.
hearing this massive sound out of it, and it's
Right.
just the contrast between those two things just like broke my head apart. But yeah, it's really cool to see what you can do with it and take it into like other styles. So like how do you take the pandeiro and put it into other styles or adapt other things to it?
So, after I play pandeiros and, this, I mean, especially the modern way to make pandeiro sounds, many people really fascinating that how deep sounds you can get, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of take this the sounds into my percussion kit and, playing with stick and rods and brushes and brooms, So I kind of started put pandeiros on the stand and put the microphone underneath using as a kind of more bass drum, like a, alternate sub bass drum,
Yeah.
So then, that becomes kind of really important sounds on my kit. And of course,
Because it gives you like another bass drum kind of sound.
Exactly, and I mean, I play drum set too, but like, if you don't have a bass drum pedal or bass drum, to play it on a foot, you can just like have a pandeiros and other hand percussions, and you can play hands, brooms, rod, and stick, and then you can get nice bass sound, with just one tambourine and a bass, bass tone. So that's a really cool thing, and that's unique too,
Yeah, totally. Do you use like a pre-mounted one, or are you just kind of like putting it on a snare drum stand? Or
I use both. Like I started to, using the regular pandeiro, put on a stand, and then I kind of noticed like, when you put on a stand and snare stand, it kind of choked the body.
Kills
so
it a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So you lose like kind of more full bass sounds. It's a different sound like when you hold in the hands and play.
Mhm.
So I kind of I change it. I put the pre-mount like the clamp on the side, and I put on a clamp, and then it resonates more. I noticed. So it's kind of back and forth, and
You're kind of a wizard with all those different like hybrid setups. I like whether it's with like the Charlie Hunter setup I've seen.
Yeah.
I watched one with the Camila Meza the other day. That was like another beautiful kind of setup. I really like that. You bring a bunch of different sounds into your setup.
Thank you, man. I'm kind of like, it's always fun to create, and I kind of notice like every time, every different bands I have a different setup. But also same time I kind of enjoyed it, to change it up different, and because when you play drum set, it's just like there's kind of primary, kick, snare, cymbals, but like when I creating different setup for the each, it depends on the music. I got, I have a kind of images like the sounds I wanted to, so then like kind of build my setup and like, okay, so this is a setup I wanted to sound, and so how do I play this kid?
How do I make this thing work?
Each time like before the game, oh, this is like looks good, but like and how do I do this?
So
But
if you have
every time.
if you have just one drum to bring to a desert island, you would bring a pandero.
Oh man, definitely, yeah, pandero, yeah, that's for sure.
There's no bias here. There's no Pandero bias here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, man. But it's a challenging thing, man.
Keita, what was your first rhythm you learned in pandero?
Samba.
Can you show?
Yeah.
The first groove that you played, and who showed you how you learned?
Oh, okay, yeah. So, I think I just like, so my mentor in Japan, I was doing the roadie, the driving cars and carrying the gears and setup and those kind of stuff. I was doing like for years. So I was just watching her playing every night. She never actually like given a lesson or anything. I was just watching her playing every night, and I kind of like figured it out how she plays. So I kind of start practicing by myself, watching her. So this is like my first, I think, pattern samba stuff that, from what I figure.
Nice.
So it's like,
Yep.
using this finger and like. It's just like simple stuff, And I was just doing, and then I kind of started searching. I mean, the video instruction, and the first instruction of video I was like, I got was like Susano's stuff. Then I opens up more stuff, and different techniques.
You were in Japan when all this was happening. You were in Japan.
I was in Japan. Yep. Yeah, but that was like a really introduction for my like Brazilian music and panderos, all this stuff, and the Susanos and everything. Yeah.
Was it the Pandero Brasileiro, like the DVD that Susano?
It's not DVD. It was actually VHS.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and the VHS come with like a little papers with the
Yep.
the
We all got those
notations
papers.
and stuff.
Yeah.
that was my first.
And it was
pandero.
hard for us in Brazil to get that, It was a Japanese release.
Oh really? On the VHS?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
man. So yeah, that
on
was
the
fun.
90s.
That's it.
That's amazing. So then you were just like doing it, picking it up by ear, by your eye, and like trying to figure out when to move the left, when to move the right, all that kind of stuff. When did
Yeah.
you start like diving into like studying with people about it and like asking questions?
What's that?
When did you dive into studying with people about it and asking more questions about it?
Oh, that's like way later.
Yeah.
So after that, I went to the Berkeley, studying in Boston. Came to the States like 15 years ago, and I was just drum set player actually until then. Mostly I was just playing drum set. And but I wanted to explore more percussion, hand percussion world. So I switched my principal instrument drum set to the percussion when I entered the Berkeley. And so then, I don't know anything about at the time, anything. Zero, actually. Really zero. I just maybe just like a tumbao patterns, like congas and stuff like that.
Wow.
So yeah. So I started took Afro-Cuban, stuff from, then I studied with Jamie Haddad, bunch of frame drum stuff, and I started playing like a Brazilian teacher and all those stuff and South American stuff. It's like so many informations,
Yeah.
But in Boston, so many Brazilian people live, so I had chance to play lots of Brazilian music. So I kind of decided to go to Brazil, take summer off, and then I went to the Brazil in the Rio 3 months.
Which
to
year
study.
more or less? Which year more or less?
2007.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Bernardo and Gabriel didn't remember, but I met them at that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, incredible, because I met Gabriel in 2005, more or less.
That's right then.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Alex Shaw was here.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the comments, he
Alex,
was
yeah,
part
Alex.
of that. You know, well, Alex.
Of course, I know Alex. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
My brother.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, so I went to the Rio, and then I think I met Celcinio Suba from my friends recommend, because he studied with him, and then I got contact. So I just I think I emailed him or I forgot, but I contact him to get the lessons from him.
very
you know.
good approach.
Yeah,
but
that's the right guy to
straight
go to.
the swing feeling.
Yeah, to the source,
And-
man.
And then it was like, he correct my technique and everything. It was just like going back to the zero,
Yeah.
again. So I was like,
That's the best when you find a teacher that makes you do that. Says, "No, no,
exactly.
no,
I was like,
none
oh,
of this.
shit,
Start over.
I suck, Yeah, that was like a really, actual pandero lesson I got.
Wow, that's a good first one, man. That's a good first one to start with. That's pretty incredible. So you were down there for 3 months. Where did you stay? Where were you in Rio?
I was staying in Lemi,
Oh, nice.
next
Beautiful.
to Copacabana, and then I pretty much went to see the live, in a Lapa,
Yeah.
and
I'm 15 minutes from Lapa walking.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep. We've made that walk many, many a time.
Man. So yeah, I pretty much went to see the live shows and hang, and then I met I actually took a lesson with a Gabriel Hepiki lesson,
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, 2007.
2007, and I started with also Marcio Bahia, Kiko Freitas,
Wow.
and yeah, I mean I think
In
it was
3
good.
months, you got all that? That's pretty good.
Man, yeah.
That's a good 3 months.
I studied the drum set with Master Bahia as well.
Yeah.
Master.
Man, he's a master. He's amazing because he's a lefty,
Mhm.
He's a left hand. But when I went to his house and he showed me just because I'm righty, so he just showed me the right hand and still grew as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Man,
Like it was nothing, yeah. Yeah, I can do
crazy.
it with this hand, too.
man, And also I took a class, the Unihio. They had every Saturday morning they have a shoro program. So I went to every Saturday morning to get the class with Bolão. He was doing some class. Also Jorginho was doing the class.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so it was a good time.
Yeah. good
That's
choice.
incredible, man.
Brazil was very good this moment. I miss Brazil. this time. But let's change the subject.
Quick before it gets depressing.
Yeah.
Man, Bolão, Jorginho, you studied with some really heavy cats there. That's
Man.
that's freaking incredible. And that was the thing that I always loved about going as well too, because I did the same thing you did. I just went down there to try and find something,
Right.
And I was always met with really open people,
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't find a lot of people who were kind of closed off or no, you don't, this one isn't for you, this isn't for you. If you showed interest, everybody really wanted to teach and share.
Right.
That was always my experience down there, and I really loved it, man.
Yeah, amazing.
So what pandero are you playing there?
Now these days I have a friend of mine, Kenji Ishida. He has a brand called Paka
Oh, nice.
from Japan.
Beautiful, man.
So yeah, I've been playing his pandero. I like it. It's not really like traditional Brazilian. I mean, he experiments so much like different ways and then interesting sound. He put the cachices on the zingle or kind of
nice.
different zingles and head. Sometimes he put the double head goat skins and stuff like that. But it's cool for me to kind of play his pandero because it's more like I don't know. It's versatile,
Yeah. I you know what? I'm going to pick up on something there. I noticed you used the word zingle for the jingles.
Platinera.
No. Because this is a thing. We're talking about this in English. When you say jingles for the pandero, for some reason
zills.
it just falls flat. Zills is a much more like
Zills.
That's a much more erudite way of expressing what that thing
Zills.
is. I like that. But so those ones you can like take out and you can put new different ones in there as well too.
Right.
I've got some like beer bottle caps here. These are the quarantine ones from all the
Yeah.
drinking I've been doing.
Nice.
It's fun to experiment with that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have do you play those Cooperman one at all?
Yeah, I
noticed I've
have
seen
one.
some of
Man,
those as well, too.
I have this Cooperman. Let me get one.
Yeah, sure. Now we get to the heart of it, the Cooperman, baby. The big guns.
Subscribe YouTube channel.
Look at that. Mr. Promo himself. I love it. Smash that subscribe button, y'all. Smash it.
So this is my Cooperman Pandero.
Ah, beautiful.
Man, unfortunately, they don't have this like a kind of, it's a goat skin, but it's like a really unique crafted goat skin. They used to use it,
Oh, that's incredible. I haven't seen that
But they
one
don't
before.
have it anymore. But check it out. This sounds like.
Ooh. Very good, man. Man, that head sounds really amazing because like the thing that like I think drew us to the Cooperman anyway when we first saw it was the head that they have on now, which is like like a synthetic head with like the cloth on top, which like has a good like low end and thump to it as well too, And it's got a good like thumb slap. That was the other thing if you're trying to play that.
Yeah.
It's got a good pop there in the center.
Nice. Yeah.
But the one that you have there, that goat skin sounds really thick as well too, man. That's a nice sound.
Yeah. It's really dry and like dark.
Yeah. It's good for certain things, man.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of like fits more in the universal kind of concept of the sound. Like when you use that one outside of Brazilian styles, it glues in a little bit more because it's almost like you're playing a drum machine or something more electronic sounding,
Right.
So as you are with Pandero, this beautiful Pandero, play something for us.
Yeah, man. Play us a song. Come on.
Yeah, man. Let me play this. I haven't played this Pandero yet.
Beautiful.
Very good. Keita, Brian found in YouTube one scene that you play choro.
Ah!
I will show here. One moment.
Old days.
See this. Yeah, very old.
Yeah!
nice.
Man, that's from Boston, man. I had the Shoro group. I was playing.
It's a very good approach with Brazilian music.
Man, I mean, the Shori music is like, I mean, to me, really important, because like to understand more deeply, like melody, harmony, like counterpoint, and then playing with panderos, to approach everything, and then also the swing and everything. It's the Shoro,
And very nice
taught me a lot.
to serve to the melody and just go straight.
Man. This is
serve to the
the
music.
same pandero I was playing. That's from
nice,
Cecinho.
From Celcinho.
Yeah, well, it's.
I told him we are doing this interview. I don't know if he was.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice that when I see the interview, you always talk about him. He's a very good reference we have
totally.
here
Yeah.
of swing,
Man.
of go to what the real is interest. Brian, your microphone is off.
You guys aren't listening to me. No, man, back to the shorter thing. I always kind of relate it to jazz. Like if you're learning how to play kind of straight ahead and more bop sort of stuff, because you always having to think in terms of melody and total form, much more so than just like maintaining the groove for sure, but like maintaining a static part. You got to think bigger. You got to think more melodically. And like I found with all the shorter players that I played with, that was the thing that like hit me the most. There's a group here in Miami called Club do Shorter Miami, and we would just get together on like Wednesday nights, and like it wasn't even a gig. It was just at a restaurant. We would all hang out there, drink beer, and just go from tune to tune to tune to tune. And these guys had like 700 tunes in their head.
Right.
It's hard for me to discern the difference between them, but I know that hit pops up. I know there's a hit here and there's a hit here. That's how I know that tune. But it's deep knowledge, that stuff. Hey, Tulio.
Uh-oh.
Look at that. What's up? Hey, don't use that language here, Tulio. Really. Come on. We're trying to run a clean ship.
I wish I could see the comments or whoever doing.
Well, I'll read some to you. I don't know if you can, because I remember I used this for the first time with Tulio, and I couldn't see the comments from my end when I was doing it. But when I'm running it, I can see them over here. So let's see. What we got some. Oh, here's a question. Which frequencies do you find you have to usually cut in the low end? Does it depend on the diameter of the pandeiro?
Oh, I think
are you doing any like EQing to your drum over there? Because I noticed there's a little bit of reverb on there, and it's nice. Or
right, I don't do right now. I didn't do any EQ stuff. I just use it as is. With my pedals and microphone. But for the recording and studio. Depends on. I think it depends on the microphone you use and the room sounds and
the function that you're trying to fill and the groove and the music.
It's all different. Too. Like depends on the music too. Sometimes work, sometimes not work, and depends on the music. So I don't have any kind of like the set specific numbers of a frequency that I use.
There's certain ones. I mean, I know, like, for example, like when I first started working with Bernardo, a lot of times I would see him go to sound check, and the first thing he would talk about was like right around 900 or 1K is where you're going to get the slap sound, and so we need to have like a little bit of a push there. And I've found that, like, especially if I'm playing with bass players, that's always like that's the fight right there between the pandero and the bass player, because it's a lot in the same frequency, and you have to kind of. So if you cut around like 200 or something around there, you kind of get rid of that like first overtone that adds some kind of thuddiness, I think, to the sound. And you take away from that, you give a little bit more room to the bass player, that kind of stuff.
I see.
You were getting deep nerdy. Why did you ask such a nerdy question, Adrian? I knew you would ask such a nerdy.
I mean, come on, we all nerdy,
Look
this
what we're
is a
doing
nerdy
here.
Party.
Yeah, dude. Talking about tambourine, three dudes. Come on, what do you want?
Yeah.
Keita, remember when I was doing this clinic with Snarky Puppy some months ago? You made some question, but for some reason, I think the transmission, it was about funk carioca.
Right.
It
Makurere?
was a good opportunity to talk now about
Batidão, but makulele is the rhythm that it's based off of, yeah.
Exactly. Do you remember what was the question?
I think it was, I forgot the name, the group name. I couldn't I couldn't come out the ukulele words, you know. I was like, what was it? You know, because it's funny, like, Clarice loved that groove.
Yeah, man, who
Somehow.
doesn't?
Yeah, exactly. So like, Clarice, she always, you know, like, she like play ukulele, you know, you know, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's such
but
a grounding groove, man. I
Yeah.
feel like I use that all the time in teaching and anything as well too. If I'm like when we did Miami Bloco, you got to play with us this year at Ground Up. That was a lot of fun. But when I do that group, a lot of times when I'm trying to teach people a rhythm that they can grab onto but still
Right.
has some life to it, that's one that definitely does. Oh, look at
Man.
this. Tulio dropping knowledge. Congo de Ouro.
Congo
This is
de Ouro.
the correct name of this.
And it was very incredible that the finger, Brian he is in Miami, right? And
Right.
Miami beats influenced a lot the Brazilian music, the Brazilian funk, because it started like this. This is one of the beats from Miami beat, and another one was that. That,
Don't
the na-
stop.
the name
Get
is-
it. Get it.
The name is Voltimix. And this, the clave, ta, ta,
Pa,
ta,
pa.
ta, it's already there if you listen.
Right.
So here in Brazil, all the suburbs, people are like, I'm talking about millions of people in Rio, go to in the weekends to join this kind of music. And they're very nice lyrics, content, politics, and in some time, in some point, the groove changed to because we have the clave, tum tum pa tum tum pa tum tum pa tum pa, and start to poo pa pa poo poo pa poo doo pa pa poo poo pa poo poo pa pa poo poo. So and then they going in the chorus, they go to the tum tum pa tum poo pa, a small conga electronic poo pa pa poo, and then tum pum pa pum pum pa. But more and more they take off the Miami beats and then just stay with the poo pa pa, and then start to record the voice as electronic music. But it becomes more and more Brazilian, like with a samba feeling. And so it's a very nice example of how Brazilian culture can eat the things and then vomit.
And then
some-
regurgitate it in a new way.
that is very good. It's not a trash.
Brazilian music, A Beautiful Vomit. A
Gold
memoir
vomit.
by Bernardo
Gold
Aguirre.
vomit. Gold vomit.
Yeah.
Golden vomit.
Oh wow.
Wow. Okay. Well, we hit the bodily function for the day, guys. Very good. No, man, that style is amazing. I remember one time I was in Brazil and I think I was with Gabrielle at the time, and we were going to like get the car that we had parked somewhere, and it was up on top of a hill. When we got to the top of the hill, we looked down, and there was a baile funky, which is like the other name for it, right? Batidão, baile funky. There was a baile funky party show like happening down at the bottom of the hill. And it was just like one dude on a mic and one dude like with an MPC in front of him, playing it all in. And like they just went from, it wasn't even like they were playing songs. It was just like a 30-second chant and then on to the next chant and then on to the next chant and then no stopping, just like groove, 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 groove. So it's infectious, that stuff. It's infectious.
Wow.
So what other Brazilian grooves do you like to get into outside of batidão? What's kind of like your favorite style that you like to listen to, or?
Man, it's just, I mean, so much. I mean, it's just so much, like, you know, I mean, lately, because like, you know, the style, I'm the style I'm playing is like I guess like a modern pandeiro technique, you know. But I never got into more like old school pandeiro stuff, you know, pagode and like, you know, plastic pandeiro, like a heavy, you know, those techniques.
Where you
you
don't
know.
move your left hand at all.
Exactly,
You just hold it here.
you know,
and
that's
boom,
different techniques, and then but you know, it's amazing, you know. I
The
really
sound is incredible on that.
sounds incredible and really fascinating. I just I suck. That stuff I suck. But like really, I someday I want to be able to play. But that stuff is really cool.
That stuff is amazing, man, because it's so crazy. It's that you just don't move the left hand at all, and just the
Exactly.
right hand going back and
Right.
forth, pop, 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 pop. But the
Right.
speed at which they do
Exactly,
that
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
and all the little
Speed
flourishes,
and sound and like the volume and
it's a really cool thing, and it's like so far away from the modern technique and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
Because you're going for a
Right.
different sound entirely, and I feel like I've seen just like thousands of those videos on Instagram of like people playing along to Pagoji songs and just like ripping,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
just like doing stuff with one hand that I could only dream to do with two or maybe three hands. Like it's pretty incredible, that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I guess one other thing I would like to ask you is you're kind of what I would like to call like a modern percussionist, in that you bring a lot of different styles into your playing. And I know we're talking a lot today about Brazil, but you have your whole entire background from Japan. You have all these other different like styles that you've learned with Jamie Haddad and many others, Afro-Cuban, So how do you balance like specializing in one thing versus like thinking about a broader perspective, and like what do you value more?
I guess like early days, because I wasn't I didn't have much enough experience, I guess, and I just kind of learned so much traditions from different places, and it was so fresh, the idea, but the time I didn't know how to mix well, and to kind of perform. But now I kind of like found out. I guess like definitely like Brazilian music is my part of core. The musical part of the core, and I guess like rest of the stuff, it doesn't matter. I guess to me it doesn't matter like the style or whatever, because like I come from Japan, and it's kind of shame, but I don't know much about traditional Japanese music, and also I don't play traditional Japanese music. That's a whole kind of different thing, So I had nothing on the table beginning, so it was like you said, Bernardo, like Brazil eat everything and vomit.
Yeah.
So it's like the same thing. I ate everything,
Vomit
and
gold.
Yeah, So I kind of ate everything, and then vomit my way
Goat.
Beautifully, I guess, it tastes tastefully, So every time I make some music, I try not stick too much traditions or too much one ideas, or I trying to be open my mind, and for example, like if you get okay, can you record some stuff on this tune, and people send me the track and it sounds like a Brazilian, but I'm not trying. I try not think about Brazil.
Right.
Yeah,
Just-
nice.
You gotta
It's
sound
just
like
some
you.
music, like
Yeah.
For sure.
yeah, it's just
Same
like
thing when people ask me to record the Cuban music, for example. I will not. I have to born again to really. sound,
exactly.
you know.
And also like I kind of expect more the people ask me. I mean, even like Afro-Cubans sounds like Afro-Cuban, but like people send me the music and to record or play music. They're not expecting like a really hardcore Afro-Cuban approach to me,
Right.
So like I'm just like trying to be more open mind and kind of I don't know.
That's
I-
kind of like,
follow my instinct,
yeah, man.
We select here a good example what we are saying. That is the band Bokanté.
Ah, yeah.
You prefer to say Bokanté or Bokanté?
I think Bokanté. I don't really
Don't
know,
know
but
the name of
I
the
guess
band.
Bokanté, yeah.
Bokanté. I prefer to say Bokanté. But anyway, so it's very nice. So you record with a big orchestra, Metropolitan
Oh
Orchestra.
yeah, Metropole, yeah.
Amazing, amazing.
Man.
So let's check this.
Yeah, definitely. When was this one? How long ago did you guys record this one?
2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that must have been fun to getting to work with the orchestra like that, man. You guys sounded incredible on this one.
Yeah, man.
What a sound, you know.
Man.
I'll put it here. 1 month.
Uh-oh.
Oui, bien bonsoir, messieurs et dames, nous en moi c'est réfugié. Si on devant un calais, c'est pas envie de foutre, bordel à casa en moi.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Wow.
incredible. how a person can sleep after making a show like this? It's impossible
Yeah,
to
right?
sleep.
You must have been up for days.
Yeah, right. That was actually like it was like a part of the tour, like with Metropole tour we did the last, not the last year. It was like 2 years ago in October, September, something like that. We did like a Netherlands tour, 5 shows, and that was like the last show with all the cameras and TV stuff. But it was an amazing experience. So we actually, when we recorded, we never recorded together because the process is interesting because like first like me and Jamie and Andre went to the studio.
Andre,
like
I just say that I love this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
he's
My
incredible.
friend, my brother, and
Wizard.
yeah, I love
He
him. His
is-
musicality and
man, he's amazing. He's amazing, man. So
I
unique.
like the way like he think the timbres.
Yeah.
Like, he can make a setup completely original, like do a new setup that they never did now,
Yeah.
and
Right,
they will
right,
create
right.
something using
Yep.
sticks and the timbre. It's
Right.
incredible. Sometimes we are looking at too much about the grooves and you forget a little bit about the timbres, the colors. And I
Detail,
think
yeah.
he's master of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I agree.
He really
Yeah,
is. So you
so-
guys recorded that all just the 3 of you first as like a bass? Recorded
Yeah,
just
there
grooves?
was like a demo. So Mike was just direct us like, and we kind of like figure each groove. I mean, each tune. We just like made a groove for each tunes and jump, you know. But it was like I think we made whole albums groove like a 3 or 2 days. I forgot.
Wow.
And then like after that, guitars and other instruments, they recorded it later, And then like after that, Mike went to the Netherlands to record with Metropole. So
Wow. I think we saw that when it was like kind of just coming together was like the ground up like 2 or 3 years ago. Bernardo was up because he was playing with Carlos Malta as well too.
right,
And we saw some of those like I think those were some of the first ones where you guys were really just putting that stuff together and it was just incredible to
right.
see
That
it.
was I think that was a premiere or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazing.
Man.
All right, dude. So let's end with a little playing. Let's do a little bit more pandero talk. What do you think? Are you guys sick of this instrument yet?
Never.
That's the right answer on this show. You're damn right.
Yeah.
So let's go back to that batidão thing. And
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about that batidão. So we know that rhythm as maculele, right?
Yeah.
Tu, ka, ka, ko. And in maculele, that's the capoeira rhythm. And so you can hear that on the atabaque or
Right.
on the agogo. Tum, king, king, kung, kung, king, kung, kung, king, king, kung, kung, king. But when we play it in the batidão sense, you're playing with like a much lower kind of sense. So when you go to play that kind of music, you can play it from the bottom or from the top. You know, you can jump around to different spots on the drum. If you're going to play a maculele, if I've got a gun to your head, Keita, and I say play maculele on pandero, how does it go?
No. I mean, it's kind of same, right? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Leading with that kind of low end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Throwing into that bass. Bernard, go ahead.
Batidão is in our method. I will show a little bit because we just released the method and we are very happy to share it with the guys.
Method pandero moderno.
Promote that stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, we covered this one in the method as well too, and in that one, Bernardo's got a really interesting way of playing it. Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Was that too fast for you? Let's break it down a little bit.
And just to show how
Yeah. You know what? It's interesting because this. I mean, you know, because like you know the pandero, people practice in the left hand and then you know keep the time always. You know, but the you can kind of break down in the left hand and keep like you know like
they are saying
And then
that the
put the
microphone
accent,
is
you
not
know.
so loud.
Yeah, we lost your low end on the pandero mic.
oh yeah, so like
Hey. Exactly.
right. So yeah, this technique like the breakdown left hand thing is really cool because also I've been teaching like this kind of concept too. You know, like it's really cool because like when you play, for example, when you play like a bion stuff, like right, or then when you play fast, like, and then it kind of like there's a limit you can play.
Right,
the
you can drop
the
out
tempo,
notes
but
at a
like
certain point.
if you like. It's a whole different thing. Like
Yeah, exactly. It's like a different rhythmic underpinning. That's a weird
Right,
thing
it's
about
like
playing pandero.
like
Yeah.
like a symbol, you know.
Exactly. That's it, exactly. We have this conversation often because Bernardo uses this term condução, which I think is like drive. You know, that's literally what it means is the drive. And I think what he's referring to a lot
when
of
I was
times.
doing workshops
Right.
around the world, I was saying conduction, and Alex Shaw, that's here, he said no, it's not conduction, and it's drive. Thanks, Alex.
That's how you learn a new language. You got to have good friends. But you can use that drive, and like we can say, all right, I can play the same bachata pattern,
Right.
or with that different drive and opening up space, like allows you to use it more like a drum set and go from different
Right.
symbols. You know?
But you know what, guys? Like funk carioca, the batidão,
Vai.
baile funk, as is known outside Brazil, it stayed like 2 decades, 20 years with 130 BPM. Now is 150.
Oh wow, faster.
And then the subdivision they are not doing so much. So
It's more kind of square.
yeah.
But then I also hear a lot of times now, because they get it so fast, they can drop it into halftime. So it goes from to like a track kind
And
of thing
then
as well too.
the word of pagodão, that is from Bahia, the
Pago
samba
down. This is a
feeling.
new rhythm that you should,
So
you should know
Pago
about.
down.
It's crossing because there is so it's very rich, very rich.
Oh,
People are
wow.
doing very well with the beats.
There's an
Wow.
Instagram handle that I'm going to go ahead and pimp here because I think it's amazing, called Adoro Meu Pagodão. Let's see if I can. I'm going to put this up here because I think this is what this show is about: spreading knowledge, right? Adoro
Yeah.
Meu Pagodão.
Share the knowledge.
And if you go check that one out, you'll see what this style is. And right now, it's filled with like a ton of different like lives and shows without audiences and that kind of stuff. But like the setup is like you have a drum set, and then you have bacurinha, which is like small hipiki, right, with a kind of like a long shoot to 'em and you're
Yeah.
playing with two sticks, like really choppy kind of stuff.
Very
Yeah,
noisy. Very
super
Yeah,
noisy.
super loud, you're right.
yeah. And then chimbal and congas, but congas like tuned up really high. But it's like felt in this really like heavy halftime feel. It's just like
Wow.
friggin' incredible. So lose a good 2 hours of your life to Adoro Meu Pagodão.
All right.
I think that's well worth it.
I'm gonna check it out.
All right, man, we're coming up here on an hour, dude. So I think it's time to wrap it up. I don't think we have anything more to say about this drum or about this instrument. It's all been said before. It's enough already. There's an hour limit on Pandero Talk. Instagram will kick us off after a while. But thanks so much for.
What do you think is the future of Pandero?
There you go.
What's that? Oh, the future.
The future, yeah.
Oh wow. Wow. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I've seen like little kids start playing. I mean, they're killing the pandero stuff. So, I mean, the drummer were all the small kids kind of chopping out like really
YouTube generation, man.
Exactly. So like
Mhm.
I feel like those things come in also the pandero world too. I feel like because it's easy to access to anything. So
I asked and you answered too. Sorry.
So why
because,
ask the question?
When I saw like in Tulio is here.
Yeah.
You made the interview there, and he asked you to play, and you started doing something like something.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That I think is a very good future for Pandero. That is crossing
Different
techniques from different words,
right. Totally.
So
And also like I mean I don't know. I mean it's already there, but like I've been kind of experimenting with effects and stuff, with the pandero. So I mean.
But I like a lot to think, like, for example, the drum set. Imagine it started in the 20s in New Orleans or something close to that, and in the 40s it was already being developed, comparing with nowadays. So imagine a pandero in 60 years, 70.
Oh man.
That after this revolution that Susano did, you know. So I'm very excited when I think like that.
In 50,
Right.
60 years, the Pandero is going to be a chip that they put in your head. And you just think. That's where we're going with all this.
Wow.
All right, let's end with some playing, man. We got to do some playing.
All right.
So we'll go around. We'll go around the horn here. It's just like we're playing baseball, y'all. I'll start us off, and then Bernardo, you pick up, and then Keita, you bring us home.
Okay.
Oh
So
man.
now I have to show what you did.
Yeah, you gotta explain that. We were trying to go
What
out
did
with
it-
something, but you did something too interesting, and now it has to be addressed. And we're already over an hour. Go for it, man. So, is that a orchestra effect? Nice, Alejandro. What you got going on there, man? What are you running
I guess
into?
I mean, just the effect pedals I've been using, loop, and I mean, this is
Can you
like a
show
multi effect.
the
Oh, yeah.
camera? Can you?
Yeah,
This is a pedal,
very cool, man.
Yeah, and I can preset.
Just
sound.
one. It's just one device.
Yeah, just one device. Yeah.
Very nice. And how you make the pandeiro become a line signal?
Oh, so I use this microphone
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
into this pedal. That's it.
Oh, it just goes straight. It's got a mic in on the pedal.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like a vocal
there's
processor?
like a little, like a, I think this is like a preamp kind of thing,
Oh, cool.
So yeah, just
All in
straight
one.
to the pedal.
Yeah, that's a whole other world that we don't really address or haven't talked too much about. But like now that we can plug this thing and what Susanna did with it, it turned it into an electronic instrument, which is like all of a sudden opening up electric guitar from acoustic guitar, man. There's a whole other world of sounds. You came prepared, man. I like that. I like that. Good, man. Well, man, thank you so much for joining us here today. It was
Oh man,
really
thank
awesome
you.
to get
This
to
is
talk with
fun,
you,
man.
and hopefully we can have you back and do this again, and hopefully we can just have this conversation in person next time. That would be fun
Oh
to do.
man, definitely. I miss that.
But thanks everybody else who's watching here. Subscribe to the Groove Art channel, my man. Go to the YouTube channel, go to grooveart.com, sign up for the email list, check out the method, get involved with us. We got a Facebook group, all these sorts of things. And I will say one thing about Pandero is that it is a great instrument to play indoors during the middle of a pandemic. So if you want to get started on something new, this is a good time.
Exactly. And there is a method that we just released.
Yep. Check out the
So
Pandero
follow-
Moderno method. But then you're gonna have to call Keita to explain how you make all those crazy noises with the pedal.
Yeah.
That's not us. So let's go out here with a little bit more of Keita here. I think we got a clip of him playing with Clarice
Uh-oh.
Assad.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Okay.
That was beautiful. Bernardo, do you have that one queued up?
Yeah, it's there. So I just
Fantastic.
say goodbye for everybody. Thanks a lot to join us. Thanks a lot of friends that was here. Alejandro, Tulio, a lot of people. Bruno Pé de Boi, my friend,
Yeah,
my brother,
Adrian. We had a bunch of people here today.
Alex,
This was really awesome.
and many people.
Yeah.
So, Keita, do you want to say something to finish?
Man, thank you so much. Thank you everybody watching this, and I love you all, and hope to see you all in person soon, and perform live.
Yeah, that will happen again. Happy times will come again. It's coming
I
back.
hope. So, let's go to the music. Clarice Assad, very nice person, musician. I met Keita from her.
Oh, through Clarice, really?
Yeah.
Very nice.
From. So let's.
Beautiful.
check.
Let's check it out and see us next week. Actually, we got a couple more shows next week. We got Larissa Humaita on Tuesday and Michael League on Thursday. So we're trying to like broaden this thing out, and yeah, we're gonna talk about Pandero for sure and make it nerdy, but we're gonna talk about music in general. Beautiful music like this one. Thank you guys for showing up, and we'll see you next week. Sounds great. I
Wow.
really like her use
Beautiful.
of space.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing.
I'm not sure what's going on. Bernardo, you want me to try and load it up?
Does he mute it?
I don't know.
The voice.
Oh, you got it. Oh, you failed the test. Share audio. You got to click the share audio button.
Take two.
We're gonna get a new producer in here next
Take
week.
two.
Come on.
Oh, I set it up so beautifully as well too, man. I thought we had this thing. Next week, come back next week, and we'll have our production chops together.
Work in
Where,
progress.
where was this show, Keita?
That was a beautiful Lincoln Center, New York.
Oh wow, incredible! All right, enjoy this, y'all. And we will see you next week. Take care.
Thank you.